for group selfie. Oppo F3 Plus Selfie Expert. Oppo Camera Phone.
Alongside me, and these two were magnificent.
Equal best third wicket partnership for an England pair. 213 it was worth, and they played quite beautifully. That was a fantastic shot from Heather Knight, who looked to go both sides of the wicket and really attack the spinners. Looking to go down the ground specifically. And once Sciver had scored 100, she was pumping it for six.
And these two were magnificent. Their first
Equal
one-day
best.
international 100 received the embrace of the England captain, Heather Knight. So, as you can see, a little bit of a worrying start for England at first. There was a bit of an early movement from both opening bowlers. However, once they'd removed Sarah Taylor and Tammy Beaumont.
On ahead, Aisha Zafar, a promising young talent from Pakistan.
Opening the batting for Pakistan, number 10, Bibi Nahida, and number 79, Aisha Zafar.
And they'll be wanting to just get off to a good start and trying to make the most of the first 10 overs. There's only 2 players allowed outside the ring. And they chased down a score of 240 plus against the West Indies. But even this score, you would say, is a real mountain to climb for a side like Pakistan against England's bowling.
Well, it's the second highest World Cup score in history that they've got to try and achieve. An opportunity for England's bowlers to perhaps remedy, right a few of the wrongs that occurred in Derby a couple of days ago. Especially these two opening bowlers, Catherine Brunson and Yashrub, who dropped way too short. India cashing in on a lot of loose stuff. Bibi Nahida, who had a very good knock in that opening game against South Africa.
The important thing, though, for Catherine is that she doesn't just put it there. She really uses that arm whip to help her get it in the right areas and get that lift off the surface.
That's nicely timed. Chase on in the deep, should be collected by Danny Wyatt inside the boundary rope. Pakistan off the mark. Slightly erring onto the leg side, Catherine Brunt. So as said, it's the second highest total in Women's World Cup history, behind the 412 Australia scored against Denmark in 1997. Not quite sure of the standard that Denmark were back in 1997. However, still a record for Australia. But in my opinion, Catherine Brunt's on at the right end here. Skiddier bowlers do well down the hill. Shrubsole, who hits the pitch a little harder, better up the hill.
And that's a really good line of length from Catherine Brunt. Just that length is a lot better already today. Fiery sort of character on the pitch.
What's she like as a teammate?
Good fun. Very bubbly and great to have as part of your side as well. Just brought out the best in you and love being around her.
Oh, she just missed. I wonder if that didn't hit the stumps.
I think it did, Daggers.
I heard a very stumpy sound off the bottom edge. It's only a single, but I just wonder if that inside edge might have just flicked. Oh, just masked by the batsman there, but I'm convinced that's moved.
Yeah, I think it's hit the base of the stump. Just deviated down to fine leg.
It's a very strange occurrence when the bails aren't dislodged, but she'll be chuntering to herself, will Catherine?
Beautiful delivery. That's what you want to see as a bowler, hitting the top of the splice. Really good over to start. 3 for no loss.
41, Anya Shrubsole.
So 3 without loss, first over gone, and it will be Anya Shrubsole to start things off from the pavilion end. Because we have had a little bit of rain before the start of the game. Only 15 minutes or so. Forecast wasn't brilliant, but we've been lucky so far. But of course, one eye will be kept on the forecast, and remember, 20 overs need to be bowled in this response, and that will constitute a game.
And your Shrubsole there, just a bit too full. Lucky to get away with it. Just adjusting to bowling up the slope.
Just angling down the leg side. Just be a single. 4 without loss. But you do get up the hill here at Grace Road. You do get that little bit of extra bounce. But you must, as you mentioned, you've got to hit the pitch still. You've got to bowl it. Even if it's a fuller length, you've still got to bowl it.
Absolutely. That last delivery, though, from Anya, she'll be encouraged by the swing on offer. Didn't get too much against India. Certainly be wanting to exploit that slip in play for her natural variation, the one that just goes straight on. And there you go, world-class player. She's able to adjust straight away. Bit of swing on offer. She gets a line and length right perfectly.
Well, I remember back in 2013, I think it was Jess Cameron that she got out from Australia. I mean, a perfect bowler's 3-card trick. In-swinger, leg cutter. And fabulous piece of bowling. When the ball's swinging, she's in the game.
That's that natural variation we were talking about. Looking to shape in, Nahida expecting it to come back into her. And it just carries on. A bit of a way movement as well.
Well, that's the nature of the wrist, isn't it? When you bowl in swing, your fingers naturally go over the side of the ball, and if you don't get it right, it turns into a leg cutter, just as useful. And just lent on for a couple of runs.
Danny Wyatt playing in a 50th one-day international. Was presented a cap earlier on today by Holly Colvin, former England player.
That's good length from Shrubsole. Just in the splice of the bat and skewing down to third man. End of the over then. 7 gone, 2 gone and 7 without loss.
Now, but there's 2 things I admire about you. One is to have such short legs like me and be so quick between the wickets. And the other is genuinely because you always put the team first, no matter what. And you are the 25th player to make your 15th cap so far.
Yeah.
Some lovely words there from Holly Colvin, the ICC Women's Cricket Officer, former England player.
Chance out. A very soft dismissal. Bibi Nahida can't replicate what she did the other day. It was short from Brunt, and she just never really got hold of it in the simplest of catches at mid-wicket.
A fairly innocuous delivery there from Catherine Brunt. The over before, she'd been pitching it up and getting the ball to go away. And I wonder if she just rolled the wrists on that a little bit, but in any case, looking to dispatch that over the leg side. It's a big wicket. Bibi Nahida for 3, 7 for 1.
New bat for Pakistan, number 7, Javeria Wadood.
Javiria Wadood, the new batsman, perfectly online as Catherine Brunt immediately to Wadood.
Yeah, 29 years of age. One of their key players had a knee niggle ahead of the tournament. So her first run out really was in the last match against South Africa. Started off nicely but wasn't able to kick on.
Only needs 24 runs to get to 2,000 for Pakistan. As Brunt probing once more.
ICC World Championship average of 40-odd, Javiria Wadood, but this is why she's here. And although I said she rolled her fingers down in, I don't think she meant to bowl it at that length. Charlie?
I think, as you will know, the knowing look from the bowler that she got it slightly wrong and has burgled a wicket from that one. I think there was a facial expression of Catherine Brunt just towards the back end of her celebration. Gave the game away. She'll, of course, tell people she bounced her out, like any good fast bowler. And there's the Brunt grunt. Always full of effort. And already, lengths are far, far better.
Just offers England a chance to just get into some rhythm as well. 4 dots and a wicket. And she'll be wanting to close this over out.
Tentative drive, but early on in the piece for Pakistan. 7 for 1, 3 gone.
Wears her heart on her sleeve, does Catherine Brunt. Very charismatic player from Barnsley.
So
Role model.
did you and her
Darren
share the new ball?
We did.
Who got choice of ends?
Me, of course. No. I never got the choice of ends. I was always uphill into the wind. It was a lot of fun.
You get respect from people doing that. Shrubsole to continue from the pavilion end and immediately hitting the splice of the Aisha bat.
Is that something that Anya Shrubsole has to deal with?
I wonder how long the discussion is between the opening bowlers when Catherine Brunt is one of them. You just explained your conversations with her and you came off second best in the choice of ends stakes. Nicely dabbed. And I mean, of course, with the different nature of these two bowlers, Catherine Brunt, traditional away swing bowler, Anya Shrubsole, swing the ball back in, I suppose, depending on the wind, that's always going to be one factor that comes into it.
Yeah, the only problem is when the wind's actually blowing against you and you're running into it. I had that a fair few times. Different strengths of wind as well.
That's when bowlers managing almost to squeeze through the defences of Javiria Wadood. I think that's when bowlers always try and conjure the best excuses as to why they need the good end. Well, it'll just help my rhythm a little bit. I bowl a fuller length than you. That's why I need the 50-mile-an-hour wind at my back.
The worst one, though, Daggers, and I'm sure you'll agree, is the one that just burst into your face at the end of your delivery.
Yeah, the gust that can put you off. And then you get the opening bowler. So we rarely got the wind. We always had to bowl into it like proper foot soldiers. And then you get the complaints from the bowler who did have the wind. Oh, it's ever so tough to get back to my mark. No sympathy whatsoever.
Very good at the cut shot is Javiria Wadood. We saw a couple of short balls from the South Africans that were put away with ease up and over point.
What England must be keen and eager to do here is not go searching for wickets. You know, they will come. The target is, of course, huge, and it will happen for them. But maybe just not to try and bowl that magic ball. Just be patient, allow the swing to do it in the early parts, and then see what the spinners can do later. 4 gone, Pakistan 9 for 1.
It's cool as Mithali Raj.
Wonder if they're reading the same book. Catherine Brunt continuing down the hill. It's a thick book, that. Don't think many pages will have got turned while England were batting earlier on.
I was walking around the boundary when all the fireworks were going on, Charlie. What a lovely atmosphere. The kids were really enjoying themselves.
Well, we saw Mithali Raj getting thoroughly stuck into a book as she was preparing to bat. Everyone has their own idiosyncratic way of preparing. But just to see her getting stuck into a novel prior to batting, you might want to have a look, see if it's doing a little bit, how the pitch is playing, the weather conditions, get your eyes used to the light.
I remember Claire Taylor, the batsman for England, listening to classical music.
Brunt bowls, good length. Just off the splice again. Managed to squeeze down to third man for another single.
One of our most prolific run scorers, of course.
Did you do anything to prepare to bat? Have any superstitions?
No, not really. I used to drink those fizzy energy drinks.
So you're properly hyped up.
I was indeed. That's probably why I was involved in so many run-outs.
Although, didn't you have an innings back in the day, which was a fairly lengthy stay at the crease? Did he have much energy drink before?
Catherine Brunt at the other end, and she was enough energy. Nice and bubbly character at the other end, just encouraging us to stick it out as a test match.
That's nicely placed. Just managing to squeeze it past point. Chase on in the deep for Wilson, but only a couple of runs.
Funny how I can just pinpoint the exact innings you're talking about, because it only happened once. One lengthy innings.
Spill the beans, Isha.
Enough about me.
It was in a very good cause. Now England duty.
We beat Australia, that's all you need to know.
And that's all that is needed. Oh, just an inside edge, almost squeezing through the defences, but this is good bowling from England at the start, nice and tight, not allowing Pakistan to get any kind of impetus to this innings. 5 gone, 12 for 1.
Yeah, she's bowled very consistently today as Catherine Brunt. In fact, probably ironically, it was the shorter delivery which got her the wicket. So mammoth score here from England. Pakistan need 366 more runs to win. 8 runs and over.
Just can't pierce the infield, Pakistan, at the moment. It's not as though they've got no pace to play with. These two of the quicker bowlers on the women's circuit.
And we saw this last year when Pakistan toured. England batting first, scored a couple of 300 plus scores, and you just felt from Pakistan they were almost playing a game within a game, trying to reach a certain target. Obviously, every game in a World Cup you want to win.
Do you reckon there is a sense of realism within, say, a Pakistan side or a Sri Lanka? Maybe not necessarily a South Africa. I think they've probably come on a lot more over the last couple of years than some of the than these two sides that I've just mentioned. But do you wonder if they have sort of said, well, look, it's highly unlikely, let's be honest, it's highly unlikely we're going to knock these off. It's just be a couple of runs here. Alex Hartley on the boundary edge, nicely fielded as well. But yeah, as if to say, you know, we'll set our own targets and get out of this match what we can.
Well, I think Pakistan would have turned up to the ground today believing that they could win. In England having lost their first game, Pakistan having chased down a big total against the West Indies in the warm-ups and nearly taking it close against South Africa. A couple of games here on this pitch, they would have been used to the conditions. And I think just after that first innings, with it being so much one-way traffic from England's point of view, you know, I think they would have come out in this innings and said to themselves, let's just get off to a solid start. If we can get a few away, then brilliant, and then just build from there. But I think at some point during the innings, if they are too far behind, they might actually think, okay, well, you know, there's a few more games to play in this tournament. It might come down to net run rate.
Just a little airy-fairy outside of off stump.
Rather than go all out to try and chase down the runs, let's aim for a target.
And that's the thing, I'm sure they will have pinpointed the 7 games that they're going to be playing and sort of said, well, you know, obviously these are going to be tough against Australia and New Zealand and India, but they will have targeted certain games that they will have thought they can compete. A good pull shot. That's a lovely shot from Ayesha. Short of a length from Anya Shrubsole. First time that she's really dropped short, and quickly latching onto it was Ayesha. She moves to 10, and it's 19 for 1 at the end of the 6th.
Got into position early, did Ayesha. And there's plenty of space out there. At the end of the 6th, it's 19 for 1.
$19 for 1. Pakistan after 6 overs. The first boundary has just been hit by Ayesha. Moving to 10 not out. Catherine Brunt still searching for more wickets. She smells it. That's a good length. I like that length from Catherine Brunt.
World-class player, and she would have been so frustrated after that first game, wanting to set the tone. World Cup at home, 121 wickets to her name.
It's that economy, isn't it? 3.39, fabulous. It's worth a try. And she definitely meant to bang that one in as opposed to the one that she actually got the wicket with. It's a little bit wide. I hope she's not done herself a disservice there, but there's smiles all around.
And she's hobbling back. And just signalling that I think she might have just twisted in her delivery. So just trying to shake it off at the moment, Catherine.
Might have got tangled up with those repaired footholds at this Bennett end. Here we go. Oh yeah, and the studs might have just got caught on the front foot there.
She likes to use the short ball, one of the few in the England team who do. It's not really getting up though here at Grace Road.
No, that one just nipping back in, and again we mentioned about the Shrubsole When you bowl the in-swinger, the fingers go over the side of the ball, and the alternative delivery to the in-swinger is the leg cutter. And similarly with Catherine Brunt, with the wrist goes in the other, it goes the other way for the away swinger, and her alternative delivery will be an off cutter, just losing the rhythm of her run up there. So you can just see that last delivery was cutting back into Javiria Wadood. Slower delivery from Catherine Brunt. Slightly got the radar run.
Back of the hand. It's a delivery that she has been working on, certainly with so much 2020 cricket that these girls play now. Catherine, who plays over at the Perth Scorchers in the Women's Big Bash. In fact, to add so much variety to their game in terms of bowling. At the end of the 7th, it's 20 for 1.
Feel good in the hand, those 142 gram balls. Any bowler likes to get hold of a brand new nut. 20 for 1. Just the 1 wicket to fall. Bibi Nahida, the only wicket to fall for England. Sorry, Pakistan, taken by England. Catherine Brunt, the bowler, and Nat Siver taking a very simple catch at mid-wicket. Sarah Taylor up to the stumps now for Anya Shrubsole. I'm always a fan of that as well. Taylor's such a good keeper, brilliant hands.
She's even better up to the stumps. Really good reaction keeper. Seen some incredible takes over her time. And Anya just hangs her head back, not the length she wants to bowl, especially when Sarah's up to the stumps like that. It brings in the extra wicket-taking option. You're just zoning in at the stumps. Batsmen like to step out of their crease to Anya if she's swinging the ball, just to negate that swing. Oh!
Just thought that Anya's hand might have just clipped the stump there. Heard another woody sound. Sometimes it can just put the bowler off for a couple of deliveries until they get themselves sorted with the keeper up. Just takes a small amount of time to adjust. Not that she's not used to it. Shrubsole. Just wondered if Sarah Taylor was wearing any keeping pads.
Yeah, she swapped to the shin pads a couple of years ago, just to allow her the freedom to move around.
Talking of freedom to move around. Lots of fun to be had. There's a play area over on the far side.
Oh!
Nicely bowled. Youngsters can go down mini slides, and over at the back of the ground there's lots of different things they can have a go at as well. Lots of different catching games, and batting games and bowling games. Well, you can play your own games if you like. Smart school blazer. It all seemed to happen in slow motion though. Anyway, 21 for 1, 8 overs gone. Use your hands, son. Hands were made for cricket. Bit of WWE wrestling coming in as well.
A bit close to that bat, aren't they?
Good reactions. Lots of games of cricket being played around the ground, whether they're organised or fantastically disorganised. All the youngsters having fun. Brunt continues and just slides on down the leg side. Fairly cautious start here by Pakistan. How about this? Day off school.
It's not bad, is it?
Letter goes home to the parents. Children are itching to get away from double maths. Come and watch some World Cup cricket. Nice shot.
Well, that's her strength, Javeera Wadood. Any sort of width, she's able to get back into a crease and play square of the wicket. So, a bad delivery that's put away very easily.
That's the key, isn't it, as well? You keep them, the opening batsman, quiet, and then you just offer one up, and the frustration from Catherine Brunt must be increased tenfold. Every time she sticks it there, Wadood can only place the bat there. She's not got the shot to play to that particular delivery, and it's all about, as a bowler, as you know, is actually just keeping your own control, actually not trying to get too excited, being happy to bowl dots.
And just having that patience, really, to stick at it. England will be absolutely delighted with the way they came back today. Under a lot of pressure after that loss against India. And the partnership between Heather Knight and Natalie Siver was quite special.
Oh, wonderful delivery, completely foxed with the pace from Catherine Brunt. It's that slower delivery that's done for Javeera Wadood. And like any top bowler, she responds after getting hit for a boundary in the best possible way, demolishing middle stump. And it's the end of Javeera Wadood.
And it's completely the pace off the ball that has confused Javeera Wadood. Got into her crease, wasn't expecting it to be as full as it was. And so another wicket falls for Pakistan. Javeera Wadood gone for 11. Pakistan 26 for 2.
Pakistan number 20 as Marvia Iqbal.
So 26 for 2, 8.4 overs gone. Isha, we see a change in the batting lineup.
Yeah, usually bats at number 6 or 7, does Asmavia. But she's been promoted up the order, I think, probably because of the injury to Bismar Maroof. Being an injury in the first innings.
You can just see the movement. Look at Javeera Wadood, completely flummoxed by the change of pace from Catherine Brunt. As Malvia promoted up the order to give it a bit of a biff, no doubt. 9 overs gone, England on top, Pakistan 26 for 2. .26 for 2, 9 overs gone here at Grace Road, Leicester, in match 5 of the ICC Women's World Cup 2017. Catherine Brunt with both the scalps for England. Shrubsole's continue from the pavilion end. Ayesha looks pretty comfortable at the crease.
All Stars Cricket, a new campaign launched by the ECB, which is a new participation program for girls and boys aged 5 to 8.
Never stroked a star. Looks ever so velvety. Great hand, Sarah Taylor. There's that leg cutter from Anya Shrubsole, looking for the swing, and it's just not there.
It's just such a good delivery because of the length of it as well. It draws Asmavia into the stroke, draws her forwards.
She's just got staggering hands, does Taylor. Asmavia no off the mark, just tickling one down to fine leg.
Get you selfie with a star.
Have you had a pop at that yet? You're going to go round and have a selfie with the star?
I think I'd rather stroke it.
Oh, I'm sure. Lofted, just falling short of mid-on. Not a confident shot by Ayesha at all. Well, if you want to go and stroke the star a little later on, I'm sure they'll make time for you, Ayesha.
A wonderful initiative, though, the All Stars campaign. Parents are able to register their children to take part in centres across England and Wales.
Seen it on a Friday night down at my local club, just north of here. Just can't pierce the field. But yes, up in Rothley, about half an hour north of Leicestershire here. Friday night, 160 to 180 kids down, all with their All-Star T-shirts on. It's been a fabulous initiative, and seeing so many clubs take it up and see kids playing.
Yeah, the wonderful thing about it, it's not just for boys, it's for girls as well. Open to everyone.
Totally agree. Full. Quick single taken. Should get that fairly comfortably. And so 10 overs have been bowled. Shrubsole can't make the breakthrough as yet, but Brunt has made 2. Pakistan are 29 for 2.
10 overs gone. Pakistan 29 for 2. That completes power play 1.
And really is a tough ask. 349 runs to win for Pakistan. And a change in commentary. Charles Daniel will make way for Mel Jones.
Thanks, H. Well played. Good time to come into the commentary box when you see shots like that.
Yeah, it's just been the odd one. Short and wide, and they've been comfortably dealt with by the Pakistani batsmen. First it was Javeria Wadood, who's now gone. This time Ayesha Zafar gets back into a crease nicely, waits on the ball, gets her shoulder right over and is able to pierce the gap.
Edged through the vacant slip cordon, and it's back-to-back boundaries.
And frustration on the face of Catherine Brunt. They've taken the slip out. And perhaps would have gone in that direction.
Wonder what that conversation would be for the premier bowlers in international cricket. Catherine Brunt on this occasion getting the line a lot straighter. It's getting a little bit big on Ayesha.
We have seen some uneven bounce on this pitch today. Some have stayed low, and the odd one has just bounced up, actually from the city end, not this end. Bobbing up the hill, it has been bouncing a little bit more off a length.
Slower ball again. It's been working well for Catherine Brunt today. Makes it difficult for Sarah Taylor, particularly after what Isha has just said about the inconsistent bounce, the second game that's been played on this pitch here at Grace Road.
What's so good about it is her arm action is the same. It's coming out the back of the hand. She's bowled it a couple of times, but that's where the deception lies.
More deception again, but on this occasion managing the last minute just to get the bat down on it, so it gets up to the safety of the other end. That's a different look on Catherine Brunt's face from the first game against India, isn't it?
Yeah, slightly more relaxed today is Catherine Brunt, although she's very experienced, playing in a 96th one-day international. She's been playing for a number of years now.
Beaten again, so two boundaries to start with, and then she's come back, Catherine Brunt. 11 overs gone, 38 for 2. Every ball recorded these days, the changing face of all sport, the analysis that goes behind the game of cricket.
Number 24, Jenny Gunn.
So good start here by England. A reminder, they are defending 377, so Pakistan they know they need to get a wriggle on right from the start. Always tough when you're chasing such a big score. Jenny Gunn. Played nicely off the pads here by Ayesha, and it's going to race all the way across the boundary. 3 boundaries in the last 7 deliveries.
Just a loose start here from Jenny Gunn, isn't it? Just drifting down that leg side. Well picked up, actually, by Ayesha. Just think she kept her weight into the shot, worked it around quickly with the wrists. Lovely shot. I want a lot more of those.
Gets the wrong line again, but on this occasion, protection from Danny Hazel. It's a big World Cup. Well, all World Cups are big, aren't they, Ebony Rainford Brent? But the fact that so many are chalking up their 100th international too. We had Mignon du Preez in the first game against Pakistan here a couple of days ago. Catherine Brunt is getting close in the high 90s. It'll be Susie Bates's, the New Zealand captain, her 100th one-day international tomorrow if they pick her.
If they pick her. I mean, arguably one of the best batsmen on the circuit at the moment. But she will be, well, I mean, it's incredible, isn't it? You do need that mix of experience and youth in your side. And, you know, these guys have been there, done it, seen it, been through the pressure.
On the legs again and gets the same punishment. So Jenny Gunn not starting well here. And Ayesha really enjoying it. 30 from 28.
Just looking here, I just wonder if the fine leg's too straight, because that was hit nicely directly through square, almost where a deep backward square could be. I just wonder with her pace, she's not going to work it as fine as where they've got the fine leg now. But nicely picked up again. Good wrists on that leg side.
Yeah, really good balance too. Hasn't fallen across the crease either. Kept her head up in line with the ball. Slightly straighter on that occasion from Jenny Gunn. I think you'll enjoy this, Ebbs, because you're a Surrey girl, as is Nat Siver. Look, she's thoroughly enjoying her game, and why wouldn't you? 137 today, maiden 100. There's a shout there. It might just be tailing down leg. Jacqueline Williams from Jamaica says no and over. 12 overs gone, 48 for 2. Yeah, just doing a little bit too much. takes a lot to impress Jacqueline Williams,
It
obviously.
does, clearly. I think it was just going down leg a little bit, wasn't it? But took a bit of pace off it.
Bowling at the minute end, number 17, Danny Hazel.
Daunting equation there for Pakistan. So it's going to be the double change here at Grace Road. It's now going to be Danielle Hazel coming on for the first sign of spin for England.
She's now becoming more experienced in this side. She's been around for a long time. For a long time, her and Laura Marsh kind of rotated with each other who was going to be the spinner. She's become fabulous in the T20 format. 50 overs, has still had to fight for that place between the two of them.
Well, they're looking for the quick single and quickly sent back smartly. Sarah Taylor, if it was any other player, she might have glared, but it was the captain, so she just gave a cheeky smile. But I suppose you're still 330 runs ahead. You can probably, relax a little bit. Oh, is that an edge? I think it's dropped.
Big edge here. Just looking at that, pitched up nicely. Not surprised why Sarah Taylor wasn't able to get a bit more on it. Obviously, it would have picked up a bit of pace, but she was in a good position.
Well, you don't see it often, do you? So often we've spoken about the skill set of Sarah Taylor with gloves in hand, and usually it follows with she is so good up to the stumps. Hands just look like they were going at it. It almost looked like she was even trying to drag it across to the stumps as well, rather than just allowing the ball to come into the mitts.
Yeah, just looking here to see. I wonder if she came up a little bit as well.
Goes big, goes through the onside, and boundaries coming here for Pakistan. Ayesha now picking up her 6th boundary as she's going at a runner ball.
Yeah, this is really good momentum here for Pakistan. Yes, they might be seeing an imposing total, but you've got to make the most of it, and that was pitched up. It was in the slot. Saw a nice big gap down there, and now they've actually put out someone to cover.
Just looking for the single after the boundary, doesn't pick it up. 5 runs coming from it. Pakistan 53 for 2. .325 still needed by Pakistan from 37 overs at 8.78. Jenny Gunn has started a lot better than what she did in her first over. We're going to go back to Nat Siver because it was such an honour to interview her after she'd hit her maiden 100, and we were just sort of having a bit of banter before the interview started, and she said, I just didn't know what to do for the celebration. Now, you as head of Surrey Cricket, Ebony Rainford Brent, we need to talk about this. Now, it's all well and good to build the skill set of players, batting, bowling, keeping, diet, mental approach, all these sorts of things. But you're playing in a World Cup. Millions of people are watching you. You've got to come through with something a little bit better than what Nat Siver did today.
I think I've just spotted a massive flaw in our programme here, Mel. Oh! Let's have a little look at it then. Let's test this out then. So obviously she's going to the big milestone, first 100. She sees it coming, the smile comes. I'm enjoying the fist pump. I like that though, I have to say. A double fist pump is pretty cool. And it's always nice to embrace your friends, isn't it?
It was hysterical. She said, well, I didn't think that was going to happen today.
That is so Nat Siver. She's just carrying on. But okay, so what is your what's your suggestions for celebrations?
Well, it sounded to me like that she probably wanted to do something a little bit more extravagant, but then didn't really think about it and was obviously just trying to get across the line to get the milestone. And so I've sent her a couple of suggestions just to help her out, because I'm tipping we're going to probably see a few more hundreds from Nat Siver over the coming years, and potentially even this World Cup, the way she's striking them at the moment.
She's a big dancer. So I can imagine there could be some dance moves in that celebration to come.
Again, playing across the front pad. And this will be given leg buys, so 2 leg buys for the over, 3 coming from it. Pakistan 56 for 2. So a better line that over from Jenny Gunn. Got a little bit too leg side in her first over. And went for 8. Danielle Hazel to continue. And good running. That is one of the areas that we noticed the other day against South Africa, that Pakistan could just tidy up a little bit. The ability to call straight off the bat, not waiting to see where the ball's gone, what kind of angles it's taken. Sharp by Taylor. Fairly conventional field here for Hazel. Looked to shape to go big and then decided at the last minute it probably wasn't right there in Aisha's hitting zone. So protection now, backward square, mid-wicket, long on and cover.
I think some of the weaker teams in this need to take insight from playing these other teams. Today I was really frustrated at times actually with Sana Mir's field placing. Being an off spinner herself, often she didn't even have a mid-on, deep mid-on. As one's just drilled down there now, and I think it's just seeing these sorts of shots that are played up and down the ground. We saw Nat Siver hit 2 or 3 sixes straight back over the top, and they were bowling into her arc. So I just wonder if there's a chance for, you know, taking some insight, maybe even having conversations with other coaches who have worked at the highest level, or players like Charlotte Edwards who've now retired, to just offer insight, because I think that's an area that's lacking but could be improved quite quickly.
Slip and play for the last delivery. Completion. No, it's not the completion. We've still got one to go. We had the wide off the second delivery. Look, captaincy it's an art in itself, isn't it? I'm all over it now. Completion of the 15th over, 59 for 2. It's probably one of the reasons why New Zealand, Australia, England are doing quite well in international cricket, because the leaders in their teams. Heather Knight has taken over from Charlotte Edwards. Captaincy record for England. Player of the moment, Nat Siver. Absolutely outstanding today. 137 off 92 deliveries. Now I'm tipping for everyone that loves this, it's all going to be 100% to Nat Siver for play of the day. icc-cricket.com/POTD for your favourite play of the day. Jenny Gunn just struggling a little bit here. And I tell you what, I'm going to let you call this, Miss Surrey.
Just she loves that shot, that one where she helps it over fine leg. But this is her best strength, hitting straight down the ground, pure power, acceleration from the shot. And there, that's when she goes big. She goes a little bit underneath it. Excellent stuff.
And the impressive thing was, right from the start, she was going, the strike rate was up from the very first ball. She kept that momentum going all the way through. Once she got to 100, she really put the foot down. She had a chance of taking out the fastest 100 in a World Cup. She was going to beat Karen Rolton, one of your favourites. And then, of course, chipped in with Heather Knight for a 213-run partnership.
Not bad at all, is it? Do you know what I think? What I like most about Nat is how much fun she has. You know, I see a lot of intense players who are overstressed and overanalyzing, and she just really enjoys every moment.
That's picked up nicely. There's a lot of space to work with. Has she gone all the way? No, she hasn't.
But she is someone who's enjoying herself, isn't she? Maybe she's taken a leaf out of Nat Sciver's book. But just look at this. Bit of extra pace. I like that weight into the shot as she just helps it over to that leg side. Very good at striking there. Uses the wrist at the back end of the shot.
Yeah, that's the wrong line to Ayesha. Her balance on the legs is exceptional. Much better line. Got protection, additional protection now on the onside, deep squared, as well as the fine leg on the boundary. One bounce to Heather Knight at cover.
You must, and I'll just finish up on just enjoying it. You must have played with a few players who are a bit tense and actually impacts everybody's environment. But when you've got one or two characters that just soften that environment, make it more fun, make it more enjoyable. Or maybe you were the intense one, Mel, I don't know.
Definitely not. 5 coming from it, 64 for 2. No, I certainly wasn't the intense one out on the field. Maybe I should have been. It might have actually got me a few more runs. Look, I do. I won't name names. Actually, I'm just trying to think now. I think there was moments. I think as an Australian team, we were a reasonably relaxed group. I think we played our best when we were in that kind of mindset. But I suppose, yeah, skippers, probably more so captains at different times, needed to just gather us all in. Match 5 here at Grace Road. So yeah, I think you've got to acknowledge people's personalities out on the field, and if you're out there with someone who is a little bit more intense and you're just a little bit more relaxed, you either don't field near them, you can get away a little bit, or you can give them their space, or support them in whatever way you can. But you need to be mindful too that they might not want to choke as much.
We were talking earlier a bit about two bowlers, the England bowlers, Catherine Brunt and Anya Shrubsole, very different characters. Sarah Taylor's one of the lively ones. I think it's been great that she's back in the environment. She brings an energy. She's always keeping the extroverts happy and having a good time.
Flatter on this occasion, gets into position very quickly. Tammy Beaumont, though, will do the tidying up. She's going along nicely now. 41 from 47, a strike rate of 87. As Mavia, on the other hand, though, 5 now from 17, a strike rate under 30. And that's where you start to wonder what has been the message. As we see, the Duckworth-Lewis pass score is 152, if the rain comes. So 19 deliveries to go until there's an official game. So England need to get through 20 overs for points to be counted. If not, it would be a match abandoned and they'll split them. Another dot delivery.